Here we have the current stock market update for Super Micro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders can find this information more easily on the platform. So what we're looking at here is still this broad view that we were looking at last time, which was the weekly chart. I am going to sort of move into this price chart a bit more closely because, as you can see here, the stock is actually moving up a bit today. So we are starting to see some upward price movement. I just wanted to sort of start with this broader context here so we can sort of remember where we are exactly within this broader structure. Because last week, at the close of last week, we did break through a very significant price zone, a couple of them really, I mean several of them. But this 3660 historical resistance turn support zone was then broken during the Friday trading session. And then in addition to that, we also closed below the 200-week exponential moving average, as you can see here. So that means that the body of this red candle closed below this blue line. That blue line is the 200-week EMA. And then we also had some rising negative trading volumes here as well. And then, as you'll notice, even with this, we didn't actually even move into overbought territory here, which is a bit scary because what that really means is that share prices can continue to extend more to the downside before they become oversold. Even with these major price movements here in the negative direction, we're still not oversold. So that is definitely an important factor to note here, because what we're looking at is this weekly time frame. So it's a very long-term time frame, which is so that makes it much more important. These are very important signals here, and the fact that we're not oversold here is a concern, because it does suggest that share prices can continue to move lower without even becoming oversold. So with all of that said, we will sort of move into the shorter term time frames here. We can sort of quickly look at the hourly time frame. So what this means now currently is that each candle is a 1 hour trading period. And to start the trading session today, we are seeing some upward price movement here. A little bit of a bounce, not a huge bounce. This current low, let's get an exact number here. This current low comes in at 23.90. So this is sort of the main level now to watch to the downside. And the real question from here, is whether or not we're actually going to start to see a bounce. I mean, this is a major question, and there's just a huge number of unknowns here, because the company just continues to delay investors and delay the market, and sort of almost refuse to give us information about what exactly is going on here, what all these accounting concerns are really about, because we don't even know what the specific concern is at this point. I mean, the Ernst & Young report here, the statements that they made, they really didn't give any specifics. There were some clear concerns there, but they didn't tell us what exactly the issue is. So there's a lot of unknown at the moment, and there's really not much that we can say as far as being able to make determinations about what type of issues actually exist. So all we really have at this point is the price chart, and at the moment, what we're looking at is a potential resistance zone that comes in right around 29.65. So that would be this price level here, which does actually represent a fairly significant gain, from those lows, if we were to see that happen. But if we do see resistance levels break here, you then have a bit of a price gap here that could be filled. I mean, this didn't occur long ago. So, the potential for upside price movement here that could be fueled from this filling of a price gap would have the potential then to send prices into roughly 32.80. So this essentially is the area that marks the bottom of this price gap. And these price gaps, in either direction, they do indicate volatility. And when they occur to the downside, it's obviously very concerning and can be very alarming. But the positive side of that, I mean, if we're going to sort of look for a silver lining there, the positive aspect of that would be that if you do move back into this area, you can then really get some free upside momentum. Because the expectation is that this price gap would then be filled. So I do think that a break of this area here, right around 29.65 or so, will be important because this is also where the 20-hour exponential moving average is resting at the moment. So if we break above here, at the very least, that does start to take pressure off of the downside, because we would then be trading inside of the exponential moving average cluster, and that does sort of signal a bit more of a neutral sideways type of momentum. So that is what the stock needs at this point. I mean, I'm sure that people that are long the stock and have had to hold the stock through this nightmare that has been unfolding here for the last few months now. Um, I'm sure that that's not, really, amazing to hear. But, you do sort of want to see situations like that, because if we see a period of sideways consolidation, sideways trading, what that really then gives you is the opportunity for the stock to start to form a base. I mean, this is a story we've heard before. We have seen bases form in this stock before, and then we sort of get some sort of, news release, some sort of, a piece of bad news, and, that floor just completely breaks. We've seen that happen now several times. But, having a floor is better than not having a floor. You really do have to look at it in that way, because we don't have very much information at the moment. And, some is better than none. Some support is better than zero support. And I'm sure that, the people that are long the stock really want to see share prices just sort of rocket higher here. But, you do have to sort of take a win when you get it. And if we can just move back into this exponential moving average cluster here, that would also remove some of the resistance zone that is seen right around 29.65. And then you do have the potential here to at least to start to fill in this price gap. So it is sort of a baby steps type of thing at the moment. I mean, I don't think that we can just sort of expect things to rocket higher. We would need to see, some actual information here, or some reason to believe that all these prior concerns are unfounded. But, the way that this is developing here, the fact that we're just, the CEO is just hiding from everybody. I mean, where is this guy? Why is he not making statements? He doesn't even seem to be concerned about the situation. So it's really one of two things. I mean, either he's not concerned or he's hiding something. To me, it seems that those are the only two options at this point. And it's really not looking good here. I'm very surprised at how this guy's behaving. So, these are the current price levels that I'm watching here. I wouldn't expect any major significant, rocketing share prices higher, unless we do see some sort of news release that explains the concerns and explains why those concerns are not valid. But without that, we could be trading very heavy here for some time, and we need some actual information. But, from a technical perspective, I do think that a break above 29.65 could send prices into 32.80 for the near term outlook. So here's the current update for Super Microcomputer, stock ticker SMCI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.